In this video,
some are even calling him the man who broke the internet.
I wanted to get this product so bad that I sat in the McDonald's for over an hour.
We dissect what I see to be the greatest infomercial of our time, pulling millions into its web, but not without causing its fair share of controversy.
There has been a lot of constructive criticism floating around the internet.
The world's most genuine YouTuber just used everyone else's drama to sell his makeup.
Hey everyone, Chris here. Behind the camera when I'm not making YouTube videos or working on my e-commerce stores, I am studying. I'm studying what is floating around the internet that I can extract value from and add to what I do on a daily basis. It's very rare that I'll watch anything on YouTube that's over 20 minutes long in full. That is until this new Shane Dawson series came out. It's almost like an 8-hour long infomercial that millions of people were emotionally invested in, that led to one of the largest product launches ever. If you're trying to build up your Shopify store or get more subscribers on YouTube, this series is gold. And I know it's gold because once I started applying the elements that are into this series to my YouTube channel, I went from getting 9 subscribers a day to 50,000 in a single month. So yeah, this is gonna be a really good one. I'm super excited about it. Let's get into it.
For the 5 people who are unfamiliar, let me break it down. Shane Dawson spent months creating an eyeshadow palette, but not without the help of Jeffree Star, a brilliant businessman running his own 8-figure brand. The now old way of selling a product would be to tease it on social media, build hype, and eventually release it. Shane completely flipped things upside down by instead documenting the before, during, and after process of creating the palette in a 7-part video series. From designing the packaging to what's inside the palette, the audience is included the entire time. The Conspiracy Palette finally launches, and millions of people rush to purchase. We can see in the final episode that the surge in website traffic was like nothing Shopify had ever seen. 1 million palettes sold within hours, making this the quote largest launch in e-commerce history. We need to dig into this. I'm an e-commerce store owner myself, and the most people I've ever seen in my store at one time was just over 2,000. But other than that, the times we have done product launches, we'd see no more than about 300 people at one time. And that's after spending thousands on ads and building hype. It's not like we're a new store, we've been around for years. To get millions of people on your website and have it crash before the product even launches just boggles my mind. Look, if we open up what Shane and Jeffree did and why it worked so well, it starts to make more sense. I need to get Julia on a call to talk about all of this. We followed the series pretty closely. I was sending her picture updates every time I was watching it, and she even purchased the Conspiracy Palette. From a research perspective though, to see the entire buying experience, packaging, quality, and so forth.
Yo, yo, yo! All right, so we're talking about Shane Dawson and the series, and I know that you and I, we were really involved in it.
I was one of those people that, like, during the episode when they're, during the episodes when they're sitting inside that meeting room, I was the one pausing the screen, looking at all the back, right? You know what I'm saying? They had all their sales and stuff, and it's crazy. I like to pause that and look at that stuff. It was a lot of perspective.
Wait, what?
After watching the series, I felt the need to level up. I remember in the first episode, I seen Shane and Jeffree on a jet, and they were talking business, and I went straight to my Facebook ads after that and just started like doing random things like, man, we gotta level up.
Normally I travel with my own bodyguard always.
Throughout the series and even when it ended, there has been a lot of constructive criticism floating around the internet, a lot of negative feedback. I shouldn't say a lot, but a little bit more than usual for a Shane documentary.
He needs to get a content cop.
So we'll talk slightly about that, but I mainly want to focus on the product launch perspective and why and how it did so well. Throughout the series, how did you feel as a viewer?
There's 2 sides. One side was, holy shit, I'm doing a lot wrong and I need to level up.
Yes.
The business sense, obviously. And the other half of me was, I don't buy makeup, but I'm buying this palette. I want to experience it. I want to see the packaging. I want to see, I even myself, like I said, I would consider myself pretty witty in terms of when I know someone's trying to sell something or really push something in my face. The processes were fun to watch. The drama, he didn't include the drama he was supposed to, but the drama that they did include was exciting. Seeing a little bit of Jeffree Star vulnerable was, not exciting, but interesting to watch. And you got to learn more about them.
That alone, I think, is entertaining enough for people to watch, but taking it a step further and actually monetizing it was just absolutely brilliant. One thing that I was seeing that was pretty consistent was people talking about how they felt manipulated into buying a palette. Tons of people saying that. They bought this and they don't understand why. Why did I buy this?
I mean, that's fair. That's a fair argument, but I think he's just a really passionate creator. If you go back to all his series, he's got the same type of music.
Now, I do agree on that. I have heard him say before that if he doesn't make things dramatic or add some really crazy background music, it wouldn't be as entertaining and people wouldn't watch it.
I should have maybe just left it very plain. I wanted to make it entertaining. Okay, here's the thing. Is this like real or is this like a bit?
Real.
Every series he's done has gone viral.
I truly believe that he didn't think it was going to do as well as it did. As it went on, I think he realized, okay, we can really turn this and strategically play certain things.
The amount of money all these young YouTubers are making right now from merch stuff, I'm so stupid.
I think that's where a lot of the feelings of manipulation come from. He posted the trailer for the series, said he was going to do a bunch of inside drama from these other large YouTubers. There was a video of a home invasion, and none of it happened.
The world's most genuine YouTuber just used everyone else's drama to sell his makeup and then somehow walked away with none of his own, and also several $1 million. And
so then you see these other hour-long episodes with a bunch of filler content in it, whether it be sadness or rejoice.
But again, his videos are so insanely good. He's so good at pulling emotion. He's so good at making it fun.
Almost like a get-out-of-jail-free card.
He even gets vulnerable enough to show when he went through the scandal he went through. He openly talks about it and jokes about it.
I almost think that's another point of kind of leveling with the audience, is just bringing that stuff to the forefront.
I'm not gonna stress out anymore. I'm not gonna let it ruin my life anymore. I'm not gonna let the drama ruin my life.
Well, he's showing, listen, I'm not guilty. I'm human. I said something stupid. That obviously didn't happen. That's another way to make people trust you. I think the whole thing with Shane is when you build trust, people support.
First off, even just seeing Shane, I mean, we know that he's got money, but kind of wear a lot of the, for example, when you look at his clothing, wearing a lot of the same clothing on a daily basis. And it kind of a little bit reminds me of myself. You know, I have like 5 t-shirts. When you look at the videos, yes, they're very nicely put together, but they're not like BuzzFeed quality. And I think that that's really what gets Shane on a level with his audience.
Well, yeah, 100%. The thing is he's built a lot of trust between him and his fans. And just like you said, this is 10 years of trust he's built.
That's a big deal. Even when you look at his Instagram feed, a lot of the photos are just very low quality. I mean, he shows himself drinking tons of Diet Coke. Just like all these little things kind of break the barrier that most people have with an influencer, somebody they follow. How strategic do you think this series was? Given that he's built this trust with millions of people and has this opportunity to make this eyeshadow palette and to have Jeffree Star holding his hand every step of the way.
I think Jeffree Star had a lot of influence on how to really navigate this, and Shane really did the editing and stuff like that made it as influential as it was.
You know, maybe like the way you open it is you turn the thing and maybe the screen pops open and all the shadows are inside.
So I follow a lot of influencers and people that do similar things, and when they announce something, it's just them on Instagram, you know, posting something. Jeffree Star, he has the business mind, shedding the light on the inside of something the way Shane did, just the way he makes it seem so cinematic and like a Netflix series.
Put a logo on it, right? Like, I want you to make your own layout. Okay.
I feel like you're on their team, like you're sitting on the bench with them, you're their #1 fan. He put his typical people in it, right? You see Morgan, you see Ryland. He included his normal life stuff, what people are normally seeing from him in this series. They showed everything from vulnerable times, brainstorming, thought process. Shane's crying on camera, he's showing his passion. People start to really appreciate you and they become a raving fan of you because you're being vulnerable and you're being transparent.
2 things I think we've really agreed on in this series: transparency and relatability. And on top of that, 2 things that you mentioned, the mind of Jeffree Star, just being able to have him with everything that he knows about product development, and the film creativity from Shane.
Similar to what people say about your editing style?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think back to starting up my YouTube channel, again, 7 months ago. And I remember sending you my first video before I went to upload it to get your thoughts.
Hi everyone, it's Chris here, and in today's video,
Very boring to watch, sitting in front of a camera.
I really hope you guys enjoyed this week's video.
You said it was good, you just said it was good. It wasn't great, I can kind of read through that. I wasn't seeing many good results with the YouTube channel and kind of realized that you were telling me, I could definitely make them better. Over the next 2 months, I kept working at it. Recording?
Roll on. Okay.
Let's do some.
Good? Recording?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Somewhere along the line, things just began to take off. I think a lot of it, it definitely has to do with consistency on YouTube, but it's definitely making them entertaining to watch. But secondly, I try to be myself as much as possible in my videos and not try to impress in my daily life. I like to wear just plain t-shirts, for example, and I don't change that. When we were making part 2 in the sock series out in Oregon with Brennan doing that interview, Andrew, just make this the best.
Make this the best.
I told Andrew, who's filming this right now, no tripods, make it shaky.
I see the other one. There's 3 of them. Yeah.
Really?
If you look at some of the largest influencers in our space and you look at their YouTube channels, Grant Cardone, Gary Vee, a lot of their videos aren't getting as many views as you'd think they would.
I think I have the single, I literally think I have one of the best ideas for a social network. I really think it's the best idea. I want to start a social network that only lets
I don't want that BuzzFeed quality. It's entertaining to watch, but it's still not too professional. It's at that relatable level, and I really see that with the videos that Shane puts out.
Like you said, from the same ripped gray shirt, he always, the constant drinking of the Diet Pop, the talks of being trash. I even think Shane is incredibly trustworthy. Jeffree Star, he's not relatable in terms of money and stuff like that, but his sense of humor is what really, they always say Shane deserves it, and that Jeffree Star took him under his wing and really he exploded Shane's brand. Now people that bought and were a part of that insane, online grind and crashes and stuff like that, they have a story to tell now too.
Yeah.
I was a part of that. I was there. I stood in line. I got kicked out.
I remember you even telling me your story of ordering. You were sitting in McDonald's, and what happened?
Think about it. This is how good this was. I was going to a friend's house, and it was coming up, and I was like, it was an hour before, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna pull over into the McDonald's. I'm gonna park in the McDonald's. I'm gonna go inside McDonald's, get on their Wi-Fi, and I'm just gonna buy something. I just want to see what it's like packaging, how long it takes. I want to be a part of this madness.
We're all, everyone's stressed out.
It went live. I put a couple things in my cart. I checked out, and obviously all those errors started happening. The feeling I had was my heart was pounding. I was freaking out. I wanted to get this product so bad that I sat in the McDonald's for over an hour to purchase makeup that I don't wear in a mirror that I won't use.
How do you think other brands in the beauty space are going to try to follow this? Because I know that specifically in the beauty space, this is something that has never been done before.
I think the biggest thing beauty companies can do, like for example Morphe and stuff like that, is partner more with influencers. I know James Charles has one with Morphe as well, and his is powerful, but they're going to reach out to more influencers. It's just going to become an influencer thing. They're going to take some tips and tricks from what he did and implement them and start to try to contact bigger names.
Wildflower cases. How do you build a business around phone cases? It's the most generic thing ever. I mean, it doesn't get more plain than that. I mean, we tried selling phone cases years ago, and it failed. We filled my living room up with inventory that we couldn't sell, and I still have it to this day. When you look at wildflower cases, they are partnering with these influencers, having the influencer design a phone case that will be sold in the wildflower case store, and the influencer will sell it to their audience. So it's building the wildflower case brand. So what about transparency and relatability?
People are going to be like, oh my gosh, that's all they need to do is talk about this brand, but SandCloud is unique in terms of they don't really sell in your face. Rather, they talk about the environment, the oceans.
Our job is to make sure that our company stands for something bigger than ourselves. So that's why we like to partner with nonprofits like the Ocean
We
Connect.
do a lot of videos on cleanups and, you know, things going on with the earth and Mother Nature, and I think...
Well, not just that, but you know, they do a lot of Instagram lives just inside of the office.
And that's true. Again, that's transparency. Not only is it transparency, but it makes you feel a part of the team. You're in their office with them.
Hey guys, right now we have...
You know what's going on. You know who's behind the camera. You know what I'm saying? So it's...
Well, yeah, I mean, when I think about that, the girl that does these Instagram lives, like I know her by now. You know, I've seen her do it so many times, and the only reason why I watch these is just because they're so lower quality. They're so candid. It's not a high production kind of thing.
Given the performance of this product launch, I think we can all agree that it was a brilliant piece of advertising. Call it an infomercial. At the beginning of the series, Shane talks a lot about how he's sold merch before, but never in large quantities. He'll make a post about it, see a spike in orders, and that's it. I think it's interesting how much we're sucked into this storyline. After Shane gets emotional, cries in a bathroom, and talks about how other YouTubers are making more money than him, I see it only fit to do a merch launch a few episodes in. I mean, people buy on emotion, and as we can see, it did pretty well. Over 1 million visits in under 30 minutes and $500,000. Clearly, emotion plays a big part in the rest of this series, leading up to the big launch. If you look at Tati Westbrook, earlier this year, she put out a YouTube video explaining her feelings of betrayal by longtime friend James Charles, who promoted Sugar Bear Hair on his Instagram story, a competitor to Tati's brand, Halo Beauty. The video captivates people by telling a story, and people love drama. Of course, James received lots of hate, and well, because people are sucked into buying on emotion, it's estimated that Halo Beauty did nearly 20 million in sales in just 3 days.
$19.6 million, I'm not claiming to have the answer. I'm just saying this is an actual real possibility. My life is on the line. Did Tati sell $3 million worth of vitamins? Absolutely.
Looking at the bigger picture here, other brands are adopting the elements used in this series, just maybe on a smaller scale for now. Transparency and relatability. Brands are inviting customers into their world. Gymshark, you have CEO Ben Francis not only documenting what he does each day, but getting candid video inside the workplace, and even revealing how much product they're selling. Partnerships. Brands are partnering with more influencers. Similar to connecting Shane to the conspiracy palette, people are connecting influencers to brands, which seems like a requirement nowadays to build anything big. Look at Honey.
Honey is a free browser extension that scans the internet for coupon codes.
Spending millions working with YouTubers. It's not often you see a connection like the one people have with Honey. Just knowing all these YouTubers are promoting it, the Chrome app that saves money is cool to use. And recently they were acquired for $4 billion. Within my own business, sales grew by 50% in 2019. I credit this to following these two elements religiously, just enhancing what already works with the things customers are looking for in 2019 and 2020. Thank you, Shane, for creating something brilliant. The team and I have some work to do in 2020.